Well, let's head straight to the market action of the day, which ended somewhat 2076 on a positive note. So the Nifty and the Sensex gained close to 0.25% higher. In fact, the Lal Street has posted gains in 9 out of the last 10 trading sessions. Mid-caps outperforming the benchmarks, closing about 1% higher, while the Nifty ended 0.5% in the green. ICICI Bank, Reliance Industries, Infosys leading the markets from the front. Well, that was the picture today, but how the market spread from last Sambat to this Sambat, and which are the big movers and shakers? Nigel D'Souza is here with the details. Nigel.
Well, from last Sambat to this one, the defensives have come back in the game. So you have the IT as well as the pharma index. They're sitting with big gains of around 40 to around 50% odd. But otherwise, if you look at the mid-cap and the small-cap indices, well, they managed to eke out some kind of gains. The Nifty itself is up close to around 9%, and that's without its prime composition. That's the Nifty bank stocks. That, in fact, is an underperformer, despite of the big run that we've seen in the last month or so. That's still down close to around 6% in the last 1 year. From the Nifty, well, which are the stocks that are gaining? Just pull up the list out there. You'll see a lot of IT and pharma names. They, in fact, top the list. Divi's Laboratory has made an entry into the Nifty in the past year. That's the biggest gain out there. But Dr. Reddy's as well is giving it company. Add to the list the big boy, Infosys as well as Cipla. Both of them have done well. And Reliance Industries, bulk of the gains because of its high weightage on the index have come in primarily because of Reliance Industries. Well, in terms of other stocks that have done well, a couple of metal names. You have Tata Steel as well as JSW Steel, where they're in there with gains of around 30 to around 50%. But it's not really been all guns blazing, because there are a few stocks that have been underperforming. Some of those public sector units, likes of ONGC and NTPC, they're still sitting with cuts, while the Nifty, in fact, is up nearly around 9% for the last 1 year or so. IndusInd Bank is still lower, in spite of that big run that we've seen in the last month and a half or thereabouts. Coal India continues to struggle, and L&T, that's the big boy in there. That's been a relative underperformer. But there have been plenty of gainers from the broader markets. You got the right stock right, you'll in fact be making big money. Granules is up close to around 200%. Escorts, the rural theme, has done well. That's more than doubled your money if you got that stock. And JSPL as well, high beta, but if you got the timing right, well, that as well did double your money. In terms of mid-cap IT, Mindtree deserves special mention. That's given you some gains. And also Balkrishna Industries, the tire play, that's done fairly well. In terms of losers, a lot of banking names are losing. In the last 1 year, you have PNB, Union Bank, Canara Bank, Bank of Baroda. All of them are down in the last 1 year or so. And throw in there a couple of other names, like BHEL as well as Oil India. Both of them are struggling. Well, so that's been the past 1 year odd. The Nifty has managed to eke out some gains thanks to the IT and the pharma stocks. But otherwise, the Nifty Bank still a relative underperformer.
All right, Nigel, many thanks for wrapping up the Sambat for us. And here's wishing you a very happy Diwali. That was a snapshot of how Indian markets have performed during Sambat 2076. What lies ahead for the Lal Street? Well, we spoke with the Lal Street veterans Viridham Desai and S. Narain, and also marquee Wall Street investor Rohit Sahu. These market experts believe that a big bull run is on the anvil. Take a look.
We actually see acceleration in growth. And as growth accelerates, smaller firms do a whole lot better because they have financial and operating leverage, which works to their advantage in a better economy. So the key call here is that we think the economy is heading for better times in the next couple of years. And if that is happening, then I think the broad market outperforms the narrow market.
It's been one of the best bull rallies that we've seen after 2009 across the world. And having said that, we have to accept that this has been a bull rally engineered by the global central banks led by the Fed. And while I do agree that we are going to have a broadening of the market rally that we have seen because it was a very narrow rally, I think it is not a 2003 to 7 rally in certain respects.
Whatever product or service you're selling should have a huge market. And the bigger the market, the more excited the stock market. India, by that metric of huge addressable market, is like a dream come true, right? I mean, how many places in the world will you see a population as impoverished as India and going for, $10,000 per capita GDP in the years ahead? So you have a very large addressable market.
Well, a positive view on the Indian markets. Now, the government is intent on completing the BPCL strategic disinvestment without any further delays. DPAM Secretary Tuhin Kanta Pandey has told CNBC TV 18 that an extension to the expression of interest submission deadline for BPCL is not expected. Remember, the deadline is Monday, the 16th of November. Speaking exclusively to CNBC TV 18, Sapna Das, he also added that the department was working to try and persuade the Railway Ministry to resolve issues with container corporations' future disinvestment. Take a look.
Well, the transaction advisors, they are in touch with our potential investors. They haven't got back to us with any requests for the extension.
Okay, so no further extension, no further request from transaction advisors as of now for any further extension. Sir, had the request had to come in, then would it have already come in by now or maybe by Sunday?
Well, I would, I think I've said, you know, what I meant to, yeah. I think the railways, we have been pursuing with the Ministry of Railways to come out with a policy as fast as possible.
Okay. And will it need a cabinet nod as well, sir?
Yes, they will need a cabinet nod.
Suppose that you will be incorporating it in your EOI?
Yes, I mean, post that we will issue the EOI. Our EOI is actually almost ready, waiting for clear policy to come.
Okay, so can we expect that sometime in November?
Well, we are hoping so. I mean, we are persuading the Ministry of Railways to come out with a policy soon.
Well, that is the DPAM Secretary on BPCL and Container Corporation's disinvestment. A quick check of some of the other headlines that we're tracking for you this evening. Active COVID cases in India fall for the 41st day in a row, slipping to 484,000. The recovery rate improves to 93% in the 24 hours up to 8 a.m. this morning. The United States of America reports more than 153,000 new COVID cases on Thursday, with over 66,000 people reportedly hospitalized. Reports suggest that restrictions have started to contain the COVID spread in some European nations. Back home, 57% of COVID-19 insurance claims worth around 4,800 crore rupees are yet to be settled. The latest data from the General Insurance Council shows that over 5.5 lakh claims have been filed, with an average claim size of 1.5 lakh rupees. The average size of settled claims stands at 93,000 rupees. Well, the centre, we learn, is open to the idea of increasing capacity of domestic airline companies further. Earlier this week, the government allowed domestic carriers to deploy up to 70% of their flight capacity. This, of course, ahead of the Diwali weekend. Anu Sharma joins us now with how domestic airlines are faring when it comes to traffic and what we should expect. Anu.
Well, sources have told us that the government is open to further increasing the capacity in the domestic aviation space beyond 70%, and it will review the current flight operations before making a decision in that direction. Remember, on 11th November, the government increased or approved the domestic airlines to operate with a maximum capacity of 70% from 60% earlier in the domestic aviation space. We spoke to industry sources, and all of them say that airlines have increased the capacity on different routes after the government's decision to increase the capacity to 70%. In fact, airlines have deployed a significant amount of new capacity on the metro routes. We spoke to Ease My Trip. They have said that they have seen airlines adding maximum flights on routes like Delhi-Mumbai, Bangalore-Delhi, Kolkata-Patna, Kolkata-Delhi. So these are some of the routes. Goa-Bombay, that is another route which is gaining a lot of attraction as far as, Ease My Trip is concerned. The recent government data shows that domestic passengers on November 11th, that number reached to 52% of 2019 levels, and the daily flight number was also at 64% of 2019 levels. So that is a significant improvement, but we'll have to wait and watch as to what is the response over this weekend of Diwali as to find out whether government increases the domestic capacity beyond 70% or not. For now, back to you.
All right, Anu, many thanks for joining us. Well, from one exclusive to another, the government's investment cell has identified 36 global companies that are looking to relocate their supply chains from China, possibly to India. Sources in government tell us that 19 of these 36 companies have indicated investing between $10 to $12 billion. Anshu Sharma joins us now with more in the CNBC TV 18 exclusive. Anshu, what are you picking up?
Government has formed a project development cell that has identified 36 companies that are looking to relocate supply chain from China. Now, we learned from sources that 19 out of 36 companies have indicated investment plan above $10 to $12 billion. Now, the project development cells have shared the potential investment plans of companies with the empowered group of secretaries, which is led by Cabinet Secretary. There are 29 PDCs attached with ministries, which is mandated to push investment proposals. Now, these PDCs have consulted over 600 companies and have feedback from over 150 companies about possible investment plans for India. The estimation is that of over $20 billion possible investment from these 150 companies. Now, PDCs have also told the empowered group of secretaries that there is high chances of investment from companies like Apple, Intel, Walmart, Nayara Energy, and many companies from countries like US, Japan, Taiwan, Singapore, UK, Germany, Korea, amongst others, for specific sectors like electronics, renewable energy, IT, BPM, retail, e-commerce, oil and gas, and consumer goods. Back to you.
All right, Anshu, many thanks. Now, time for us to head into a break. But up next, Bihar's Chief Minister Nitish Kumar says the NDA constituents will meet on Sunday to elect Bihar's next Chief Minister. That and more when we return. Well, 3 days on and still no clarity on who will lead the next government in Bihar. The National Democratic Alliance partners will meet on Sunday to finalize a name for the post of the Chief Minister. Prabhakar Kumar joins us now with the latest from Patna. Prabhakar, so Nitish Kumar it is, or is there likely to be any surprise?
Yeah, the process of the government formation has already begun, and there are a few steps which needs to be completed before the new government is actually sworn in. As we are talking, the Chief Minister is meeting the elected members of all the elected MLAs of all the alliance partners, which is including BJP, Jitan Ram Manjhi's Hum, and Mukesh Sahni's VIP. So they are all alliance partners of NDA in Bihar. They are all meeting there. Today at 4 p.m. this will be the last cabinet meeting has been called. This will be the last cabinet meeting of the present government, where the process of recommendation for the dissolution of dissolving the present assembly would actually follow, and then that recommendation would be sent to the Bihar governor, where the due process, the legal process would start. And on 15th at around 12 p.m. the NDA leaders, NDA MLAs are meeting. So all the elected MLAs of all the alliance partners, they will be meeting, and then they will complete the process of electing their leaders. So Nitish Kumar has already been elected the leader of the JDU Legislative Party. The BJP has elected their own leaders, but they would now elect the leader of the NDA. And whosoever is elected the leader of the NDA would actually become the Chief Minister. So that process, that formality, I would say, will be completed on the 15th. Remember, Nitish Kumar has already been announced as the Chief Minister candidate by the senior BJP leaders, and none other than the Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself. Amit Shah also had announced in an exclusive interview to our group editor-in-chief Rahul Joshi. So they have all been already, they have made their mind clear, they have already made it public. So it's just a formality left, and then Nitish Kumar would be sworn in as the Chief Minister for the 5th time in the row. Remember, while the process of the formation of the new government is underway, RJD is crying foul. RJD is saying that the mandate was in their favor, it has been stolen, and they are now threatening to go to the court, actually the appellate court, where they would appeal against this mandate stealing, alleged mandate stealing, which they are claiming that NDA actually indulged into. RJD is saying that there was a goof up in as far as the counting of the postal ballot is concerned, and they are demanding that it needs to be recounted. Tejasvi Yadav has also announced that he would launch a political campaign against this, where he would actually go on a yatra thanking people of Bihar for giving such a huge mandate for the Mahagathbandhan. So it would be very interesting days ahead, and this government will have a tough task ahead, actually handling a very strong, very formidable opposition with 110 members. RJD this time and Mahagathbandhan this time is in a very formidable, very strong position.
बिहार की जनता का निर्णय है, लोगों ने जो उनके हाथ में ताकत थी, जनता मालिक है और जनता का निर्णय हो गया, पुनः एनडीए को बहुमत प्राप्त हुआ है और एनडीए की सरकार बनेगी, नई सरकार बनती है, शपथ ग्रहण होता है। तो इस सब में प्रोसेस जो भी 1-2 दिन का लगेगा, 3 दिन का लगेगा, अभी डेट नहीं तय किया गया है। कल फिर हम लोग बातचीत करेंगे आपस में, सब लोग जो है चारों घटक दल के लोग कल मिलेंगे।
Well, that is the latest in Bihar. Now, in a bit, hasten procedures around breast cancer detection. Niramai Health Analytics, in association with Maruti Suzuki Dreamcatchers, are developing patent-friendly ways to facilitate breast cancer detection via temperature monitoring tools. Here's Niramai Health Analytics CEO and founder Geeta Manjunath on what lies ahead as medicine and technology join hands. Take a look.
Maruti Suzuki Dreamcatchers.
Hi, I'm Geeta, CEO and founder of Niramai Health Analytics, where we are developing a new way of detecting breast cancer. We just measure the temperature variations on the chest and analyze using software. So we say 4 things: no see, no touch, no pain, no radiation. And none of the tests today provide this. We are the only Indian startup listed on the top 100 AI startups in the world today. I was a computer scientist and a lab director at a multinational company. At that time, one of my cousin sisters, Bharti, got detected with breast cancer. She was just about 40 years or so, and it was suddenly a late-stage detection, and the doctors said, a few more months to go. It was very shocking, and I started reading up about this disease and looking around what exists out there. As a technologist, when I was talking to my colleagues, I came to understand that there is a new imaging modality called thermal imaging. So I said, why not use this technology to try and see if we can detect early stage breast cancer in younger women. Mammography, which is default standard for detecting breast cancer today, does not work well on women under 45 years of age. Also, many women, even above 45, have what's called as dense breasts, where the technologies that exist today are not sufficient. And of course, many of these are also not affordable and accessible. So we started researching in this area around 2015, and in about 1.5 to 2 years, I thought there are some early signs of success, and so I quit my job and started Niramai. The screening process is very simple. We have a booth-like structure. There's a small thermal sensor which is placed in front of the lady, and for about 10 to 12 minutes, we blow cool air on the person to bring in contrast in thermal imaging, and that's about it. 10-12 minutes of cool air, 2 minutes of imaging, and 2 minutes of reporting. The overall complete test is completed within 15 minutes. Additionally, our test is automated, so it can be conducted by low-skilled workers. Simple health workers in villages and rural areas can actually administer our test. In rural areas, the cost of screening, because it is done by software, can be as low as 100 rupees per person. We have done this test in multiple cities and villages, urban areas, hospitals, corporate camps, and so on. So far, more than 32,000 women have benefited from this test. Our technology is not limited to just breast cancer. We look forward to partnering with the different clinical experts in this world to make thermalytics a new way of detecting abnormalities in the body.
Maruti Suzuki Dreamcatchers.
Well, with that, it is time for us to wrap up this edition of Reporter's Diary. Thanks very much for watching. Do stay tuned. News will continue here on CNBC TV 18.